Friends, I am a Black woman in Texas, and Jasmine currently does not have my vote. Let's talk about it. I'm not even getting into this IO conversation because I have more pragmatic concerns. Then I'll get to how I think the campaign announcement and follow-up ads are a miss. But as a Dallas area resident who was heavily involved in the party, I just feel like she doesn't spend enough time with or listening to her actual constituents. The receipts are pinned. My husband and I put in a lot of work as volunteers, okay? No money in the classes we teach to teach people how to run for office at the state and local level, as there are 120,000 seats open, and you don't always have to go for the fancy job in Washington, but I digress. I live in what is now the second wealthiest county in Texas, used to be first, with a heavy South Asian community that for a second was going right and is coming back, and there are lots of opportunity there, okay? We had our Democratic Forum last night. Guess who was slated to come speak? Talarico. And guess who was gallivanting around Atlanta? Went to our largest Democratic fundraiser, and she came and gave us 3 minutes, and she said actually some great things about the data that could support her win. But then was like, all right, I got to go hop a flight and stump in North Carolina. And we were all just kind of like, but you're your constituent. These are your constituents. And then, of course, we get into the campaign ads that are all about her and being a winner and anti-Trumpism, which we are so over the anti-Trumpism. We are so over the meme culture with our representatives. My mom has an aggressive blood cancer. She's a senior citizen. I am very, very worried about her health care. She will not survive. Her meds are literally $75,000 a month. My daughter, I want to make sure that her special needs programs are funded. Her program right now is half day. No matter where your income bracket is, life is just more expensive. And for a lot of people that are less privileged, this isn't sustainable and they won't survive. Literally, they won't survive. I don't care that Trump has said you're a threat. I don't care that you're doing they not like us in the hallways. I want you to talk to the people. You are doing this for the people, and that's my concern.
This is someone who is a Democrat, someone who obviously is not happy with Jasmine Crockett. And they're voicing it. And they're actually showing like, hey, we had an event. She showed up for 3 minutes. She spoke and then she got up out of there. But she's running to be a senator in the state of Texas. Yet she couldn't spend more than 3 minutes to speak to her potential constituents or to hear them out. But that's who she is. I'm a firm believer. You let people talk long enough, they'll show you who they are, or they'll tell you who they are. But you watch their actions. Watch how they move around. Hit the like button, share the video. I have so much more to get into.
So what offends me the most about Jasmine Crockett acting ghetto and performing ghetto is that some of us just are and have had to learn how to behave and exist otherwise. I'm not here to tell my mama's business, but the reality is the reality. My mama was a teen mother. She had 2 kids by 2 boys by the time she was 18 years old. By the time she met my daddy, she was what, 23? With these 2 kids that she was taking care of as best she could, on public assistance, no high school diploma, and then she had me at 24. My mama is the definition of out the mud. My father was not raised with his father, nor was he raised by his mother. He was raised in the country by his grandparents. My daddy is the definition of out the mud. My parents didn't grow up with privilege. My parents grew up and built privilege for their children as best they could. All of my sisters and all of my nephews have attended public school. Ain't nobody, I don't think there's a person in my bloodline who has attended a private school. I don't have college educated parents. I wasn't raised by college educated parents. My mama got her GED in the early 90s. Both of my parents have a high school education. My daddy has some college. They are self-taught and they are self-motivated and they have built what they have. And then I've worked to build on top of that. It is a slap in the face when you got privileged Black people who attended private school, who grew up in healthy 2-parent households, do everything they can to operate backwards. When there are those of us who are trying to do everything we can to get it in the first place for the first time, as first generation. It's offensive seeing this girl play ghetto, because some of us are actually ghetto in real life. Some of us have to fight off ghetto demons every single moment of every single day that have us wanting to do ghetto things, and we have to know that we have learned better and operate in more mature ways. That's why I don't like Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, I think a lot of people feel the same exact way. If it was authentic and came from a real place, people would let it slide. They would tell her, hey, be better, do better. But the fact that it looks like she has regressed, cosplaying some ghetto hood girl with these lashes, these wigs, and this bombastic behavior and style of talk that's just over exaggerated, to be honest with you. Even hey, we didn't come from a whole lot either, and I've never seen my mom act in as flamboyant and as bombastic as, and not this one, I'm talking about Jasmine, that is. And people are just tired of it. They're fed up.
One thing I know about Republicans up on Capitol Hill is when they tell you they're going to do something, they've already done it. The plan has been finalized and they've moved on to the next objective. Okay, so by the time the public finds out about it, it's already too late. You can't do anything about it. Why do I say all of this? Because if you do a simple Google search in regards to why Jasmine Crockett is running for senator, she did not get the blessing from the Democratic Party. She was convinced by the Republican Party via the Republican Senatorial Convention to run for Senate. I didn't put two and two together until I seen the video of the Speaker of the House talking about, we are happy that she is running. We want her to run. And I'm like, why? And then I went on her website. This is not about the people of Texas. She's running for Senate because of her ego.
Yep.
Because her ego is bruised due to the fact that she is the first sitting congresswoman to lose her district. And while people in the comment section do not have the intellectual range or comprehension to know the difference between seat and district, she didn't lose her seat because by law, she's still a sitting member of Congress. It's just she don't have a district. But the reason why she lost her district, outside of the fact that it was gerrymandering, was all by design when she decided that she wanted to wage war on the Republican Party by herself. She has no allies. And while y'all sitting there attacking me, talking about that I have to, pledge fealty or loyalty to her all because she's a black woman, I don't subscribe to identity politics, never have and never will.
Thank you. Can we stop with that? Seriously, can we stop just supporting people because of how much melanin or how little melanin they have? Or, if they're X or, their chromosomes or they're male or female, or, what, orientation they have sexually. Can we stop that and just look at the merit of an individual? What is their policy? What's their background? What's their track record? Do they have the ability to push the agenda that I want to see pushed? Are they for the constituents or are they for themselves? That's all that matters. And that's all that should matter. And I'm glad that this young lady and others are coming to that conclusion. You're starting to see it happen more and more, but there's not enough. There's still a lot of identity politics being played right now, but it's got to go away. And I'm glad to see that you have more people speaking out against the identity politics and really starting to focus on what really matters, which is the policies at hand. I'm glad to see it.
Okay, can we please talk about the Texas Senate race right now? So I've been looking at both candidates. One of them is Wesley Hunt. And yes, he is a Republican, so he obviously supports Trump. But some of his policies consist of cutting fraud, cutting the American debt, securing the borders. And he also has this one that really caught my eye. It was aiding Houston's flood mitigation. Here in Houston, it floods pretty bad. Basically, anytime that it rains, like the roads are super flooded. This policy that he's putting in there, basically he wants to build these tunnels that way that the water actually drains out of the city instead of just being built up in the streets. And then I went over to Jasmine Crockett, and yes, she does have a website, which I was surprised, but she had no policies. The only policy she had was she was anti-Trump. And I think that's literally crazy because what does that have to do with Texas? Like, what is that, being anti-Trump, what is that doing to help Texas? So whenever y'all go to vote, for your senator, think about the things that you want to be better in Texas. Don't just vote for someone because they're anti-Trump. And mind you, Jasmine isn't running against Donald Trump. She's running against Wesley Hunt. So again, Trump has nothing to do with that.
Well, she's not just running against Wesley Hunt. Well, first off, she's got to win the primary. So let's correct that real quick. And then Wesley Hunt has his hat in the ring, so does John Cornyn, who is basically the incumbent. He's been there for quite some time. I don't know if Wesley Hunt has the ability to beat him. And then there is an AG out of Texas that is also running for that Senate seat as well. There's an uphill battle for Wesley Hunt. I'm not 100% sure that he can win, but I do understand what this young lady is saying. Wesley Hunt on his website has policies that he wants to achieve. Jasmine Crockett, very similar to Kamala Harris, no policies, a rollout, and the only thing you knew about her is that Orange Man is bad and she's anti-Trump. Outside of that, there's no policy, no conversation around what she plans on doing for the people of Texas, what her plan is moving forward if she finds herself in that Senate seat. None whatsoever. And I'm glad to see people starting to wake up and realize, like, hey, I'm not supporting a candidate that doesn't have any policies. And I'm not supporting you just because you're a black woman. I'm not supporting you just because you're a woman. I'm not supporting you just because you are a man of however much melanin you have. We got to stop that, man. Doing that type of style of voting is the reason that you have a lot of a lot of communities out there in shambles because people decided not to look at the policy and just vote based off of some form of identity, and it's a recipe for disaster. It really is. That is not the way.
To all the people that lack critical thinking skills that are saying that Jasmine Crockett is gonna lose because y'all can't get over Israel, I want you to remember that she's running primaries right now. This is the primary. She's going up against another Democrat, James, who is calling for a ban on weapons to Israel. She's going to lose because she is against universal health care and is for sending money to a country that has universal health care while the people in this country are suffering. People's healthcare premiums are about to be on the rise in January. Everybody's about to experience such drastic increases in their premiums in 2026 that it's going to cause people not to be able to go to the hospital, and it's going to result in people's death. She is against universal health care. That is why she's going to lose. She's also going to lose because she is in the same state that made people sign declarations to Israel before Gaza saying that they're not going to boycott Israel in order to receive FEMA money after Hurricane Harvey. She's going to lose because this is anti-American and people are sick of it. She's not going to lose because we can't get over Gaza. She's going to lose because she doesn't stand for anything. And what makes this weird is she doesn't even accept money from AIPAC. So her stance on Israel is out of her own volition. She's doing this because she wants to, not because she is being paid like all the other politicians are. You should be wary of somebody who wants to support a country committing a genocide after 2 years and doesn't have a reason for it. She's going to lose, but guess what? She's going to lose against a Democrat who actually is for these things, and I'm okay with that. Y'all need to get over this. This is the primaries. If you don't understand what primaries are, look it up.
I don't know if she's going to lose the primaries. She has a lot of people frustrated with her within her own party for good reason. She's not going to win the general, but I don't know if she's going to lose the primary. As per the polls, hey, she's leading, by about 6 or 7 points, if I'm not mistaken, in the primary. We'll see what happens. But she has a really strong chance to win just because of name recognition alone. Again, she doesn't have policy. She doesn't actually stand for anything other than Trump bad, Orange Man bad, anti-Republican, so forth and so on. Other than that, very little substance there. Very little substance. But I want you guys to hear from Senator Kennedy and his thoughts, and we're going to get up out of here.
Done, Senator. Is she done? Is she cooked? Is this going to happen? What do you think?
Well, look, the Congress, this is America, Laura, as you know. We all have the right to express our opinion. You're not free if you can't say what you think. And the Congresswoman has the right to her opinion. But I have the right to mine. And somebody needs to tell the Congresswoman. It'll be in her best interest. They need to tell her that the voices in her head are not real. She is wrong on every single issue. The people of Texas will never embrace her message. I don't know why she's doing this, but you have the right in America to do dumb things if you want to. And she will be leaving Congress. And as far as the other 30 folks that are leaving Congress, look, I get it. I don't want anybody to be in Congress. He doesn't want to be here. Because this stuff's working for the American people. You got to give it 110%. So if people are unhappy, don't let the door hit them in the butt on the way out.
Well, not that we're in the business of giving much advice to people like Congressman Jasmine Crockett and AOC, by the way. But if we did give them advice, I would say they might take a page from your book, How to Test Negative for Stupid and Why Washington Never Will. So tell me overall what people should take away from this. Where do you see the Democrat Party versus the Republican Party right now?
Well, my book talks about that, and I'm really proud of it. We're #1 on the New York Times bestseller.
Amazing.
list.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Laura. It's not a policy book per se. It's a story book that explains policy. And really, it explains to the American people why, as bad as Washington looks from the outside, it's even worse from the inside. But why it doesn't have to be that way? If we just have a little return to common sense.
That sounds a little too much like right, to be honest with you, but I'm with the senator, and I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time, man. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth.